Caleb had been living with his foster father, Will, for 5 months, but he still did not call the place home. Most of his belongings remained inside the same 2 bags he had arrived with. Will had given him a dresser, shelves, and permission to decorate the bedroom however he wanted, but Caleb refused to unpack everything. That afternoon, Caleb sat at the kitchen table with an open book in front of him. He had been staring at the same page for several minutes without turning it. Will stood near the counter watching him. "Caleb, you need to learn how to read better," Will said carefully. "It will help you in life." Caleb pushed the book away. "I know." "No, you don't know," Will replied. "Every time somebody offers to help, you shut down." "I don't need help." "You do, and there is nothing wrong with that." Caleb crossed his arms and looked toward the window. Will sat in the chair across from him. "You know Eli," Will said. "He can help you." Caleb's head snapped around. "Eli?" "Yes." "He's the reason I'm in your house now." "Eli didn't put you here." "He told that worker everything. He told the truth about what was happening. He should have minded his own business." "Caleb, I don't want him helping me." Will took a breath. Caleb became defensive whenever anyone mentioned Eli. "You have to let somebody help you," Will said. "Either you work with Eli or there will be no television." Caleb stared at him. "I don't watch television." Will paused. Caleb was right. In 5 months, he had barely sat in the living room unless Will made him join family movie night. "Fine," Will said, "then you have another choice. You can get help from Eli or you can go to his birthday party." Caleb's face tightened. "I don't like him." "You don't have to like him." "Then why would I go to his birthday?" "Because he tried to help you. He ruined my life." "No," Will said firmly. "The people who hurt you ruined things." Eli saw what was happening and spoke up. Caleb stood so quickly that the chair scraped across the floor. "He looked at me like I was stupid." "Did he say you were stupid?" "He didn't have to." Caleb grabbed the book and threw it onto the table. Will flinched at the sound but stayed seated. "He can read anything," Caleb continued. "He does high school work, he teaches people older than him, everybody talks about how smart he is. That doesn't make you stupid." "Yes, it does." "No, it means you were never given the same help." Caleb looked away. His eyes were wet but he quickly wiped them with his sleeve. "I'm not sitting in front of him while he laughs at me." "Eli isn't going to laugh." "You don't know that." "I spoke to Aaron. Eli already agreed to help and Aaron promised the lesson would be private." Caleb shook his head. "No." "Then you're going to the birthday party." "I'll stay in my room." "You won't. You can't make me like him." Will finally stood from the table. "I'm not asking you to like him," he said. "I'm asking you to stop blaming a 9-year-old for telling the truth." Caleb looked directly at Will. "He gets everything now." "What does that mean?" "He gets a dad, he gets a brother, he gets grandparents, he gets people buying him things and throwing him a birthday party." Will's expression softened. "And I got sent here," Caleb said, his voice cracking. Will stepped closer but Caleb immediately backed away. "Don't." Will stopped. "You didn't get sent here because of Eli," Will said. "You came here because you deserved somewhere safe." "I didn't ask for safe." "No, you asked for things to stay the same because the same was all you knew." Caleb stared at the floor. Will pointed toward the book on the table. "You have until tomorrow to decide. 1 hour of reading help from Eli or you attend his birthday party." Caleb gave a bitter laugh. "Those are both punishments." "They aren't meant to be." "They are to me." Caleb walked toward the hallway. Before he reached his bedroom, Will called after him. "Caleb." Caleb stopped but did not turn around. "Eli doesn't hate you." Caleb gripped the door frame. "He should," he whispered, "because I hate him." He entered his bedroom and slammed the door. Will remained in the kitchen, staring at the abandoned book. He knew Caleb's anger was not truly about reading, a birthday party, or even Eli. It was about the 5 months Caleb had spent trying to understand why everyone else seemed to be moving forward while his entire life had been pulled apart. Later that evening, Eli sat at Aaron's dining room table with a stack of reading worksheets spread out in front of him. Aaron sat beside him in his wheelchair, while Noah sat across from them eating a snack. Eli looked down at the worksheets and sighed. Even though Caleb still hates me, Mr. Will told Dad he still needs help. Aaron watched him carefully. What if he doesn't want your help? Then Mr. Dan paid me for nothing. Noah stopped eating. I thought you got paid after you helped somebody. Aaron shook his head. Dan paid Eli up front. Noah looked at Eli. Why would he do that? Because Mr. Dan said Caleb might refuse to show up, Eli explained. He said the money was for preparing the lessons and saving the time even if Caleb didn't use it. Aaron nodded. Dan understands that you're doing work before Caleb even gets here. Noah leaned over to look at the worksheets. You made all of this for him. Yes. The pages had large words, short sentences, matching exercises, and pictures Caleb could use if he became stuck. Noah picked up one page. This looks easy. Eli quickly pulled it out of his hand. It's supposed to look easy. Caleb already feels stupid. I don't want the work making him feel worse. Aaron raised his eyebrows. That was thoughtful. Eli shrugged. I know what it feels like when people look at you like something is wrong with you. Noah became quiet. Aaron placed his hand on Eli's arm. You also know Caleb's anger isn't really about you. It feels like it is. I know. He said I ruined his life. You told the truth about something that was hurting him, Aaron said. The truth changed his life, but you didn't ruin it. Eli stared at the table. What if he comes here and yells at me? Then the lesson ends, Aaron said. You don't have to sit there and let him mistreat you. But Mr. Dan already paid me. That doesn't mean Caleb bought the right to hurt you. Eli looked up. Aaron continued. You prepare the lesson, you offer to help. If Caleb refuses, that is his choice. Your job is not to force him. Noah picked up another worksheet, but this time he waited for Eli to nod. What are you teaching him first? Noah asked. I need to figure out what he can read without guessing. You think he guesses? I know he does. How? When the word is long, he looks at the first letter and makes up the rest. Noah looked impressed. You noticed all that? Eli nodded. When the CPS worker gave him the note, Caleb looked at it for a long time. Then he got mad before he even tried reading it. Aaron remembered the moment. He was embarrassed. Yes, Eli replied. Then he looked at me like I had done something to him. You were standing there when he felt exposed, Aaron explained. Sometimes people blame whoever saw them hurting. Eli tapped his pencil against the table. I don't want him to hate me forever. Noah looked at him. Do you like him? Eli was quiet for a moment. No. Noah laughed. Then why do you care if he likes you? Because I thought he wanted help. The room became silent. Eli looked at the worksheets he had spent most of the afternoon preparing. I thought when he talked to me before he wanted me to help him, Eli continued. Maybe he only wanted me to keep his secret. Aaron's expression softened. You can care about somebody and still be hurt by how they treated you. Eli placed his pencil down. I'm not going to his house. Aaron nodded. That's okay. Mr. Will can bring him here, the door stays open. That's a good boundary. You, Rick, or Scott have to stay close. We will. Noah raised his hand as though he were sitting in a classroom. Can I stay too? No, Eli and Aaron answered at the same time. Noah frowned. Why not? Because Caleb is already embarrassed, Eli said. He doesn't need his reading problem being watched by more people. I won't laugh. It doesn't matter, you can read better than him too. Noah slowly lowered his hand. Oh. Aaron pointed toward the living room. You can stay nearby, but you are not joining the lesson unless Caleb asks. Fine. Eli gathered the worksheets into a folder and wrote Caleb's name across the front. Then he stopped and looked at Aaron. Dad. Yes. What if he chooses the birthday party instead? Aaron smiled faintly. Then he comes to your birthday. I don't want somebody there who hates me. You don't have to invite him. But Mr. Will said that was his other choice. That is between Will and Caleb, Aaron replied. Will cannot use your birthday as a punishment without asking you. Eli stared at him. So I can say no. Yes. Eli immediately shook his head. Then no. Noah laughed. That was fast. I don't want to spend my birthday wondering if Caleb is going to yell at me. Aaron nodded. Then I'll tell Will that the birthday party is not an option. Eli looked relieved, but only for a moment. What about the lesson? That choice is still yours too. Eli looked at Caleb's name on the folder. After a long silence, he closed it. I'll help him once, Eli said. If he calls me stupid, blames me, or starts yelling, I'm done. Aaron held out his hand. That sounds fair. Eli shook it seriously, as if they had just completed a business agreement. Noah looked between them. Do you two shake hands over everything? Eli held the folder against his chest. This is business. Aaron smiled. Apparently Dan already paid for it. Eli did not smile back. The money was not what worried him. What worried him was sitting across from Caleb and seeing the same angry expression again, the look that made Eli feel as though telling the truth had been the cruelest thing he could have done. Later that day, Caleb arrived at Aaron's house with Will. He stood near the front door with his hands shoved inside his sweatshirt pockets. Eli was already sitting at the dining room table. The folder with Caleb's name on it was open in front of him. Aaron stayed nearby in the living room, while Noah had been told to remain upstairs. Caleb looked at Eli. Let's get this over with, I don't want to go to your party. Eli pointed toward the empty chair across from him. Then don't waste my time, sit. Caleb looked at Will. He can't talk to me like that. Will raised an eyebrow. You came in here acting like helping you was a punishment. It is. Eli closed the folder. Then leave. Caleb stared at him. What? I already said you are not coming to my birthday party, Eli replied. Dad told Mr. Will that you don't have to sit here. Will looked at Aaron. You told him that. Aaron nodded. It's Eli's birthday, it shouldn't be used as a punishment. Caleb looked confused. Then why am I here? Because Mr. Dan paid me to help you, Eli said, but I'm not forcing you. Caleb looked at the worksheets. You got paid for this. Yes. How much? That is none of your business. Caleb pulled out the chair and sat down. Eli opened the folder again. First, I need to know what you can read. I know how to read. Then prove it. Caleb's face tightened. Will stepped forward. Eli. No, Caleb said, it's fine. Eli placed a page in front of him. It had 10 words printed in large letters. Caleb glanced at the first word. House. Eli nodded. Good, next one. Window. Next. Caleb stared at the third word. Eli waited. Caleb looked at the first letter. Family. Eli shook his head. That word is famous. I knew that. No, you guessed. Caleb pushed the page away. You think you're better than me. I think you look at the first letter and make up the rest of the word. Will stood behind Caleb, watching silently. Eli slid the page back toward him. Look at the whole word. Caleb did not touch it. Eli pointed at the letters. FAMOUS. I know the letters. Then sound them out. Caleb looked toward Aaron. Aaron remained quiet, this was Eli's lesson. Caleb slowly tried again. Famous. Close, Eli said, famous. Caleb repeated it quietly. Famous. Eli moved to the next word. Caleb read the first few correctly, but when he reached another long word, he stopped. Just tell me, Caleb muttered. No. Why? Because then you won't learn it. I said tell me. And I said no. Caleb shoved the worksheet away again. You're enjoying this. Eli's expression changed. Enjoying what? Watching me mess up. I'm trying to help you. No, you like showing everybody how smart you are. Eli stared at him. Aaron moved closer, but Eli raised his hand. No, Dad, I can answer. Aaron stopped. Eli looked directly at Caleb. I don't need you to mess up to prove I'm smart. Caleb's jaw tightened. And I don't think you're stupid, Eli continued, but you keep trying to make me say it. You looked at me like I was. When the worker gave me that note. Eli leaned back. I was waiting for you to read it. I couldn't. I know that now. Caleb's eyes filled with anger. You knew then. No, I didn't. You know everything. No, I don't. Eli's voice echoed through the room. Will stepped closer. Both of you calm down. Eli shook his head. He keeps saying I knew, I didn't know. Caleb stood. You told the worker. Because I thought you wanted help. I wanted you to keep your mouth shut. The room became silent. Eli looked hurt but did not look away. You told me what was happening, Eli said. You told me you were scared. I didn't ask you to save me. I wasn't trying to save you. Then why did you say anything? Because nobody said anything for me. Caleb froze. Eli's hands shook as he gripped the edge of the table. People saw what Marcus and Linda were doing to me, Eli continued. They saw it and nobody said anything. When you told me what was happening to you, I wasn't going to pretend I didn't hear it. Caleb looked down. I lost everything because of you, he whispered. Eli shook his head. You lost people who were hurting you. They were still my family. Eli's expression softened. I know. No, you don't. Yes, I do. Caleb looked up. Eli's voice became quieter. Linda was my mother. Marcus was supposed to protect me. I hated them, but when they were gone, it still hurt. Caleb slowly sat back down. I didn't want to come here, he admitted. Will keeps acting like I should be happy. Will looked surprised. I never said you had to be happy. You keep telling me I'm safe. Because you are. That doesn't mean I'm happy. Will pulled out another chair and sat beside him. You're right, he said, it doesn't. Caleb wiped his eyes with his sleeve. I had my own room before. You have your own room now, Will said. It's not the same room. No. I knew where everything was. I understand. No, you don't. Will nodded slowly. Maybe I don't, but I'm trying. Caleb looked at Eli's folder. I still don't like you. Eli shrugged. I don't like you right now either. Will almost corrected him, but Aaron shook his head. Caleb looked at Eli. Then why are you helping me? Because you need help. That's it. And Mr. Dan paid me. For the first time, Caleb almost smiled. Of course. Eli turned the worksheet around again. You can hate me after the lesson. Caleb looked at the word he had struggled with. Famous. Eli nodded. Good, next word. Caleb read the next one slowly. When he got something wrong, Eli corrected him without laughing. When he got something right, Eli did not act surprised. After several minutes, Caleb placed the pencil down. I only wanted to tell somebody, he said quietly. Just to talk. I didn't want CPS called. I didn't want to end up living in a house I didn't know. Will's face fell. Caleb glanced at him. Sorry, Mr. Will, I didn't mean your house is bad. You don't have to apologize, Will replied. I just needed to vent, Caleb continued. I wanted somebody to listen and then leave it alone. Eli looked at him. I get it, Eli said. You didn't want to leave and end up somewhere worse. Caleb nodded quickly. Yes, that's what I was scared of. He rubbed his hands together beneath the table. The house I lived in wasn't good, but I knew the rules. I knew who to stay away from. I knew when to be quiet. Then CPS showed up, put my things in bags and brought me to a stranger. Will looked down. I know I'm still a stranger sometimes. You were a complete stranger then. That's fair. You kept asking what food I liked and what color I wanted my room. I was trying to make you comfortable. I didn't care about the walls, Caleb said. I wanted to know if you were going to hurt me. Will swallowed hard. I wish you had felt safe enough to ask. I didn't know if you would tell the truth. Will nodded. I understand. Caleb looked back at Eli. When I told you what was happening, I wasn't asking you to fix it. I know that now. Then why did you make your dad call CPS? Eli did not answer immediately. Aaron watched from the living room but allowed him to speak for himself. Eli looked down at the folder. When you were talking, I saw my old scared self, he said. That's why I made Dad call CPS. Caleb's face tightened. But he remained seated. I remembered being at Marcus's house, Eli continued. I remembered hoping somebody would notice what was happening without me having to say it. Caleb listened. People saw things, Eli said. They saw me cleaning everything, they saw how Marcus talked to me, they saw me wearing the same clothes and being treated differently from the other kids. His voice began to shake. They knew something was wrong, but nobody wanted to get involved. Aaron moved his wheelchair closer. Eli glanced at him before continuing. I wish somebody had called CPS for me sooner, Eli said. I wish somebody had told the truth even if I got mad at them. Caleb stared at the worksheet. So you thought I would thank you? No. You thought I would be happy? No, Eli repeated, I thought you might hate me. Then why do it? Because I would rather have you alive and hating me than leave you there because I wanted you to like me. Caleb's eyes filled with tears. You don't know what would have happened. No, Eli said, but neither did you. Caleb wiped his face. I kept thinking it might get better. I did that too. They were nice sometimes. I know. They bought me things afterward. I know. Caleb looked up sharply. Stop saying you know. Eli flinched. Caleb immediately lowered his voice. Sorry. It's okay. No, it is, I keep yelling at you because I'm mad at everybody else. Eli folded his hands on the table. You can be mad at me. I am. I know. But I don't hate you as much as I said. Eli raised an eyebrow. How much do you hate me? Caleb almost smiled through his tears. Maybe 70%. That's still a lot. It was 100 before today. So the lesson is working. Caleb laughed softly. Will smiled faintly but remained quiet. Caleb picked up the pencil again. I still wish you had talked to me first. Eli nodded. I should have. You should have told me you were going to tell your dad. Yes. I might have asked you not to. You would have. And you still would have told him. Eli thought about it. Yes, he answered honestly. But I would have stayed with you while Dad called. I would have explained what was happening instead of letting you find out from the worker. Caleb stared at him. That still would have made me mad. I know. But maybe not 100%. Maybe 90. Caleb looked toward Will. I'm sorry I keep acting like living with you is the worst thing that happened to me. Will shook his head. You lost the only home you knew. You're allowed to have complicated feelings about being here. I don't hate your house. You don't have to love it yet either. Caleb's voice became quieter. I like that you knock before coming into my room. Will smiled. I can keep doing that. You don't yell when I hide food. I would rather you tell me when you're hungry, but I understand why you hide it. And you don't make me hug you. I never will. Caleb stared at Will for several seconds. I still don't want to call you Dad. You don't have to. Okay. Will leaned back, giving Caleb space. Eli tapped the worksheet. Do you want to keep talking or do you want to finish? Caleb looked at the remaining words. Can we do both? Yes. Caleb pointed toward the next word. What is that one? Don't guess, Eli warned. I wasn't going to. You were looking at the first letter. Caleb rolled his eyes. You're annoying. And you still owe me a lesson. Mr. Dan already paid you. He paid me to teach, you still have to learn. Caleb slowly sounded out the word. Different. Eli nodded. Correct. Caleb looked surprised. Really? Yes. You're not just saying that. No, you read it correctly. Caleb read the next sentence. He struggled with 2 words, but this time he did not throw the worksheet or move away from the table. He allowed Eli to break each word into smaller sounds. After several minutes, Noah appeared at the top of the stairs. Are you two still fighting? He called. Aaron looked up. No, I told you to stay upstairs. I did stay upstairs, I'm still upstairs. Eli shook his head. Go back to your room. Caleb looked at him. That's your brother. Yes. He's annoying too. Very. I can hear you, Noah shouted. Aaron pointed down the hallway. Room Noah. Noah disappeared, muttering beneath his breath. Caleb smiled for the first time since arriving. He really listens to your dad. Eventually, Eli said. Caleb looked toward Aaron. Mr. Aaron. Yes. I'm still mad that you called CPS. Aaron nodded. I understand. But Eli told you too. He told me what you had shared. I made the decision to call. Caleb looked confused. So it wasn't all him. No, Aaron replied, I was the adult, the responsibility was mine. Eli turned toward Aaron. Dad, I told you that you had to call. You did, but I could have handled the situation better. We should have prepared Caleb for what might happen. Caleb looked between them. So I can be mad at both of you. Aaron gave a small smile. That seems fair. Good. Caleb returned to the worksheet. He read the final lines slowly, pausing whenever he was uncertain. When he finished, Eli placed a check mark at the bottom of the page. That's it, Caleb asked. For today. I thought it was supposed to be an hour. You did enough. Only 35 minutes had passed. You're still keeping all the money, Caleb asked. Yes. That's a scam. It's called preparation. Caleb closed the folder. Am I still banned from your birthday party? Eli studied his face. I didn't ban you, I said Mr. Will couldn't make you come as a punishment. Oh. You can come if you actually want to. Caleb looked uncomfortable. I don't know if I want to. That's fine. Will there be cake? Yes. What kind? I haven't decided. Caleb stood and handed the folder back to Eli. If it's chocolate, maybe I'll come. Eli nodded seriously. I'll consider it. Caleb walked toward the front door with Will. Before leaving, he stopped and looked back. I'm still mad at you, he told Eli. Eli nodded. I'm still hurt by you. Caleb gripped the strap of his bag. But I'm sorry I said you ruined my life. Eli looked down briefly. I'm sorry I didn't tell you before we called. Caleb nodded once. It was not forgiveness, neither boy was ready for that yet. Caleb took another step toward the door, then stopped. Next time, chess. Eli raised an eyebrow. Teaching you chess costs extra, your foster dad would have to pay me more. Caleb shook his head. I already know how to play. You know how the pieces move. I know how to play. Eli looked toward Will. Did you teach him? Will shrugged. He had a chessboard in his room before he came to live with me. I've never seen him use it. Caleb walked back toward the table. One game. Eli stared at him. Right now. You scared? Noah appeared at the top of the stairs again. Eli looked up. Why are you still listening? I heard the word chess. Aaron sighed. Noah, come down, but do not interrupt. Noah hurried downstairs and sat beside Aaron. Eli closed the reading folder and retrieved the chessboard. I'm not scared, Eli said, I just don't like wasting time. Caleb sat across from him. You say that a lot. Because people waste my time a lot. Eli arranged the pieces. Do you know how to use a clock? Yes. What time control? 10 minutes. Eli glanced at him. You're sure? Caleb nodded. Eli placed the clock beside the board. You can play white. Caleb moved his first pawn without hesitation and pressed the clock. Eli immediately answered. At first, Noah watched with a bored expression. He expected Eli to take control quickly, the way he always did against him. Caleb did not play like a beginner. He developed his pieces carefully, protected his king, and did not react when Eli tried to pressure him early. Eli leaned closer to the board. Who taught you? Caleb pressed the clock. Nobody. That isn't true. My old foster brother played. You said you had the board before you lived with Mr. Will. I did. So you played before that. Caleb did not answer. Eli studied the position. Noah whispered, Dad, Caleb's actually good. Aaron nodded. I can see that. No talking during the game, Eli said. Noah covered his mouth. Several moves later, Eli sacrificed a bishop to open Caleb's king. Caleb studied the board. You want me to take it? Eli remained silent. Caleb moved a different piece instead and pressed the clock. Eli's eyes narrowed. You saw the trap. It wasn't a good trap. Noah's mouth fell open. Eli quickly made another move. The game continued for several minutes. The room was completely silent except for the clicking of the chess clock. Caleb had less time, but his position was stronger. Eli moved his queen forward, threatening checkmate. Caleb looked at the board for only a few seconds before sliding his rook across. Check. Eli froze. Noah leaned forward. Eli moved his king. Caleb pushed a pawn. Check again. Eli blocked with his queen. Caleb took the queen with his rook. Noah stood. Eli just lost his queen. Noah, Aaron warned. Sorry. Eli stared at the board, his face tense. Caleb looked at the clock. Eli had almost 6 minutes remaining while Caleb had less than 2. You can resign, Caleb said. I'm not resigning. Without his queen, every move became more difficult for Eli. Caleb stayed calm. He traded pieces, removed Eli's counterplay, and pushed a pawn toward promotion. Eli looked for one final attack. Caleb moved his rook behind Eli's king. Checkmate. For several seconds, nobody spoke. Eli stared at the board. Caleb pressed the clock even though the game had already ended. Noah grabbed Aaron's arm. Dad, did you see that? Aaron nodded slowly. Yes, I saw. Caleb looked between them. What? Aaron looked at him. Caleb, you're the only person who has beaten Eli. Caleb frowned. Ever. Since he came here, Noah said. He beat 12 kids and 3 teachers at the chess club. He beats me all the time. He even beats adults online. Caleb looked back at Eli. You're supposed to be rated over 2,000. I am, Eli muttered. What's your rating? Noah asked Caleb. I don't have one. You have to have one. I don't play online. Eli began resetting the pieces. Who was your foster brother? Caleb's smile disappeared. His name was Jordan. Was he good? He said he was around 2,300. Eli stopped moving the pieces. 2,300 online or official? I don't know, he played in tournaments. And he taught you? Caleb nodded. He said reading didn't matter if I could understand the board. Eli looked down. That's not true. I know that now. How long did you play with him? Almost every day for 2 years. What happened to him? Caleb picked up a knight. He aged out, then they moved me somewhere else. Do you still talk to him? No. Why not? They took my phone when I moved. I lost his number. Eli remained quiet. Caleb placed the knight back on the board. So are we playing again next week? Eli stood. I'll see you next week. I need to do something right now. Caleb laughed. You're mad because you lost. I'm not mad. You look mad. I said I have to do something. Eli grabbed his tablet and hurried toward his bedroom. Noah watched him leave. He is definitely mad. Aaron looked at Noah. Do not tease him. I wasn't going to. You were thinking about it. Noah sat back. Maybe. Caleb looked toward the hallway. Is he going to stop helping me? No, Aaron replied. Eli doesn't like losing, but he respects people who challenge him. Will looked at Caleb. I didn't know you could play like that. You never asked. I asked what you liked doing. Chess isn't something I like. Noah looked confused. Then why are you so good? Caleb stared at the board. Because Jordan said if I got good enough, nobody could call me stupid. Aaron's expression softened. Being good at chess doesn't decide whether you are intelligent. Caleb shrugged. It helped. A few minutes later, Eli returned with a notebook. He sat across from Caleb. I found the position where I made the mistake. Caleb stared at him. I thought you had to do something. I did. You went to study the game. Yes. Noah laughed. That is the most Eli thing ever. Eli ignored him and turned the notebook toward Caleb. On move 17, I thought you would take my bishop. I knew it was a trap. You should have taken it. Why? Because my attack still didn't work, I calculated it wrong. Caleb looked at the position Eli had drawn. So you lost before the queen trade? Yes. Caleb smiled. Can I tell people I beat you? No. Why not? Because they will bother me. Caleb's smile widened. Then I'm definitely telling people. Eli glared at him. Caleb stood and pulled his hood over his head. I'll see you next week. For reading, Eli reminded him. In chess. Your foster dad has to pay extra. Will shook his head. I'm not paying for you two to play a game. Caleb opened the front door. Then I'll beat him for free. Eli looked down at the board, already replaying every move. As Caleb stepped outside, he looked back one final time. For the first time since Eli reported what was happening to him, Caleb was not looking at him with anger. He was looking at him like a rival. After Caleb and Will left, Eli stood beside the chessboard and looked at everyone. "Don't bother me," he said, "I need to study." Noah stared at him. "Study for what? You're in 11th grade, you're not even 10 yet, and you have all A's." Eli picked up the chessboard and tucked it beneath his arm. "Read the room and figure it out, I need to study chess." Noah smiled. "I know, I just wanted to hear you say it." Eli glared at him. Aaron covered his mouth, trying not to laugh. "It's not funny," Eli said. "No one said it was." "You're smiling." "I'm proud of how you handled losing." "I didn't handle it yet." Noah laughed. "We noticed." Eli placed the board back on the table and began recreating the position. Aaron moved closer. "Eli, Caleb played a strong game. Losing once doesn't erase everything you've accomplished." "I know. You don't look like you know." "I'm not upset that I lost." Noah raised his hand. "That is a lie." Eli ignored him. Aaron asked, "Then what are you upset about?" Eli stared at the board. "I didn't see it." "See what?" "That he was good." "You thought he was a beginner." "I thought he only knew how the pieces moved." "Because of that, you didn't take him seriously." Eli reluctantly nodded. "I played too fast, I was thinking about his reading lesson instead of the game." "So Caleb surprised you?" Noah said. "Yes." "Maybe Caleb taught you something today too," Aaron said. "I was supposed to teach him." "You taught him reading, he taught you not to underestimate him." Eli moved Caleb's rook into the final position. "I didn't underestimate him because of his reading." Aaron waited. Eli sighed. "Maybe a little." Noah's expression became serious. "You thought because he couldn't read well, he couldn't think well." Eli looked up sharply. "I never said that." "No, but you acted like it." The room became quiet. "I knew he wasn't stupid," Eli said. "But," Aaron asked. "But I didn't expect him to understand chess better than me." Noah nodded. "That means you underestimated him." Eli rubbed his forehead. "Fine, I underestimated him." Aaron smiled slightly. "That's honest. I still need to study." "Yes, but not because one loss means you're suddenly bad at chess. You need to study because Caleb gave you a challenge." Eli stared at the board. He didn't even look nervous. "Maybe because chess is the one place he doesn't feel stupid," Noah said. Eli stopped moving. Noah shrugged. "He said Jordan taught him so nobody could call him stupid. Maybe when he plays, he feels the way you feel when you tutor." "That makes sense," Eli admitted. Noah grinned. "I'm smart sometimes." "Sometimes." Noah threw a napkin toward him. Aaron pointed toward the floor. "Pick that up." Noah groaned but obeyed. Eli continued studying the game. "He knew I wanted him to take the bishop. Maybe Jordan taught him traps." "He knew more than traps, his endgame was good." Noah sat beside him. "Are you scared he'll beat you again?" "No." Noah waited. Eli sighed. "Yes." Aaron nodded. "There's nothing wrong with admitting that." "I'm not scared of Caleb, I'm scared everyone will keep talking about it." Noah smiled. "I definitely will." "No, you will not," Aaron said immediately. "Caleb's win is not something to use against Eli, and Eli's loss is not something to be ashamed of." Noah crossed his arms. "Fine." Eli looked at the board again. "He embarrassed me," he muttered. "He got lucky." Noah stopped moving the pieces. Aaron looked at Eli carefully. "Did he?" "Yes." "You spent the last 20 minutes explaining every good move Caleb made. That doesn't mean he didn't get lucky." Noah leaned back. "You said his endgame was good." "It was." "You said he saw your trap." "He did." "You said he won your queen." Eli glared at him. "Whose side are you on?" "I'm not on a side, that sounds like more than luck." "He can barely read," Eli said quietly. "How did he beat me?" Aaron's expression became serious. "Those are two different skills." "I know that." Do you? Eli did not answer. Caleb struggling with reading does not mean he cannot understand patterns, remember positions, or plan ahead. I never said he was stupid. No, Noah replied, but you keep acting shocked that he's good at something. Eli looked down. I helped him. And he helped you, Aaron said. How did losing help me? It showed you something you need to work on. I don't need a lesson from Caleb. Aaron nodded toward the board. You already got one. Eli began replaying the final combination. Here, he said, this was where Caleb got lucky. I made this move and he happened to see the rook attack. Noah studied the board. He didn't happen to see it, he set it up. Eli froze. Is Noah right? Aaron asked. Eli replayed the previous moves. Caleb had moved his knight away, forcing Eli's pawn forward. That opened the line for the rook. The queen trade had not been an accident either. Eli slowly sat back. He planned it. Noah smiled. So he didn't get lucky. Stop smiling. I'm just proud I saw it. Caleb didn't embarrass you, Aaron said. Your pride is embarrassing you. Eli looked at him. That sounds like something Grandpa would say. He would probably say it louder. Noah laughed. Eli tried not to smile, but the corner of his mouth moved. I still don't like losing. You don't have to like it, Aaron said, you just have to be honest. Eli stared at the board. He played better than me today. Noah cupped his hand around his ear. What was that? Eli raised his voice. He played better than me today. That is what I wanted to hear. You wanted to hear everything today. Eli picked up a pawn and tossed it lightly toward Noah. Aaron immediately pointed at him. No throwing chess pieces. It was a pawn. It is still a chess piece. Noah put it back on the board. What are you going to say when Caleb comes next week? I'm going to tell him to read. After that, I'm going to beat him. Aaron gave him a warning look. Eli sighed. Fine, I'm going to ask for another game. And if he wins again. Eli studied the position. Then it wasn't luck. Noah looked at Aaron. Did you hear that? Yes, I heard it. Eli opened his notebook. But he is not winning again. A few days later, Noah and Eli attended chess class. Mr. Tom stood at the demonstration board reviewing strategies for handling pressure from a stronger opponent. For the first time since joining the club, Eli raised his hand to ask a question. Mr. Tom noticed immediately. Yes, Eli. How do you beat somebody who might be rated higher than you? Noah turned toward him. Eli, Caleb beat you once, get over it. Several children looked toward Eli. His face turned red. I didn't say anything about Caleb. You didn't have to. Mr. Tom held up his hand. Noah let him ask the question. Noah leaned back. Fine. Mr. Tom looked at Eli. What is Caleb's rating? He doesn't know. He has never played rated games. He said he just plays, he doesn't care what his rating is. Mr. Tom nodded. That can make him difficult to prepare for. Why? Because you are looking for a number that tells you what to expect. Caleb does not have one. But he beat me. I heard. Eli looked sharply at Noah. Noah raised his hands. I didn't tell him. Aaron called me, Mr. Tom said. Why would Dad call you? He asked whether losing one game was enough reason for you to study chess until midnight. I wasn't studying until midnight. 11:45, Noah corrected. Eli glared at him. Mr. Tom walked toward their table. Tell me about the game. Eli recreated the opening. I didn't take him seriously at first. That was your first mistake. I know. What opening did he play? Eli showed him the first several moves. Mr. Tom watched closely. That is a solid setup. He learned from an older foster brother who played in tournaments. That explains some of it. Eli continued replaying the game until he reached the bishop sacrifice. I thought he would take this. But he did not. He saw the trap. Or he did not trust you. Eli paused. What does that mean? Caleb already has difficulty trusting people. That may affect the way he plays. He might naturally question every move an opponent offers him. Noah leaned closer. So being suspicious made him good at chess. Being observant helped, Mr. Tom replied. But we should not romanticize what Caleb experienced. Trauma can make someone cautious, but it can also make concentration and learning more difficult. Eli nodded. Mr. Tom pointed at the board. What happened after he refused the bishop? I tried to attack anyway. Why? I wanted to prove the sacrifice worked. Did it? No. Then why did you continue? Eli hesitated. Because I didn't want to admit I was wrong. Noah whispered, sore loser. Mr. Tom tapped the table. Noah. Sorry. Your problem was not that Caleb had a higher rating, Mr. Tom told Eli. Your problem was that you were playing against your own pride. So how do I beat him next time? You might not. Eli looked up quickly. What? Sometimes you do everything correctly and still lose. That is not helpful. It is the most important answer. Mr. Tom sat beside him. If you are only studying to protect yourself from embarrassment, you will play scared. I wasn't scared. You spent an entire reading lesson thinking about the rematch. Noah smiled. He made Caleb read a story about a chess tournament. It had useful vocabulary, Eli replied. The main character lost and won the rematch. That was a coincidence. Mr. Tom tried not to laugh. Caleb might be stronger than you in some positions. He is. You do not know that. I have a rating over 2100. And he has 2 years of experience playing someone who may have been around 2300. Eli looked back at the board. So he could be higher rated than me. He could be, or he could have played the best game of his life. One game is not enough information. Noah pointed toward Eli. That means Caleb might still have gotten lucky. Eli's eyes widened. Say. Mr. Tom shook his head. No, it means you should stop trying to explain away the result. Eli sighed. Nobody is on my side. I am on your side, Mr. Tom replied. That is why I'm not giving you a magic trick. Eli moved Caleb's rook into the final position. What should I do differently here? Mr. Tom studied it. By this point you are already in serious trouble. Your opportunity came earlier. He moved several pieces back. You had a chance to simplify here. But I thought I could attack. You could have, against someone who missed the defensive idea. Caleb didn't miss it. Correct. Mr. Tom reset the position. Next time, do not play the rating, do not play the reading student sitting across from you, play the pieces. Eli became quiet. Mr. Tom continued. You allowed something unrelated to chess to shape your expectations. Part of you believed that because you were teaching Caleb one thing, he could not teach you anything. Eli stared at the board. After a moment he asked, can we practice this position? Mr. Tom smiled. That is the right question. He called another student over and asked him to play Caleb's side. As Eli prepared to begin, Noah leaned closer. Caleb is going to be happy when he finds out you asked Mr. Tom for help. Caleb is not finding out. He will. Noah. I already texted Dad. Eli turned toward him in disbelief. You did what? Noah held up his phone. Aaron had already replied. Tell Eli I'm proud of him for asking for help. Another message appeared. And tell him Caleb is coming Saturday for reading and a rematch. Noah grinned. Looks like you have 3 days. Eli slowly turned back toward the board. Mr. Tom. Yes. Can I stay after class? You can stay for 30 extra minutes. Eli moved his first pawn. Good, I need all 30. When Caleb returned, he finished the reading lesson and closed the folder. He looked toward the chessboard. So are you still crying over your first loss? Eli glared at him. Shut up and set up your side. Caleb smiled and pulled the white pieces toward himself. I thought you were teaching me manners too. I teach reading, your attitude costs extra. Aaron sat nearby while Will stood near the kitchen counter. Noah had already pulled a chair close. Eli pointed at him. No comments during the game. Noah held up his hands. I didn't say anything. You were about to. I was thinking. Think quietly. Caleb arranged his pieces. Same time control. 10 minutes. Caleb reached for a pawn. Eli stopped him. Wait. What now? Eli adjusted the clock so both sides displayed exactly 10 minutes. No excuses this time. I didn't make excuses last time. You said you only had 2 minutes left. I still won. Noah covered his mouth but a laugh escaped. Eli looked at him. Upstairs. I'm quiet now. Aaron spoke firmly. Noah let them play. Noah nodded. Caleb made his first move and pressed the clock. Unlike the first game, Eli did not rush. He studied every move, even the simple ones. Caleb noticed. You're taking me seriously now. I always take chess seriously. No, you didn't last time. Play. The opening developed slowly. Eli avoided the bishop sacrifice. Instead, he traded one pair of pieces and kept the position controlled. Caleb leaned back. You studied. No talking. You definitely studied. Eli pressed the clock harder than necessary. Caleb moved his queen and threatened a pawn. Eli protected it. Noah whispered he saw it. Eli did not look away from the board. Noah. Sorry. The game continued. Caleb attempted to create the same rook attack from their first match, but Eli recognized the pattern and blocked the open file. Caleb stared at the position. You know that move. Yes. Mr. Tom helped you. Eli stayed silent. Caleb looked toward Noah. Noah shook his head quickly. I'm not saying anything. You asked your teacher how to beat me, Caleb said. Eli's face turned red. Make your move. Caleb laughed. You really were crying over that loss. I was not crying. You were studying until midnight. 11:45, Noah said before he could stop himself. The room went silent. Eli slowly turned toward Noah. Noah looked at Aaron. That slipped out. Aaron pointed toward the stairs. Noah upstairs for 10 minutes. But Dad. Now. Noah walked toward the stairs. Before disappearing, he called back, Good luck, Eli. Eli shook his head and turned back to the board. Caleb was still smiling. You made him leave because he told the truth. I made him leave because he was distracting me. You're nervous. I'm not nervous. Caleb moved and pressed the clock. Eli studied the board for nearly a full minute. Caleb's smile faded slightly. This time Eli was not attacking recklessly. He was waiting for Caleb to make the first mistake. Several moves later, Caleb pushed a pawn too far. Eli immediately captured it. Caleb frowned. That was bait. Yes. You copied me. I learned from you. Caleb looked surprised. Eli pressed the clock. Your move. The joking stopped. The middle of the game became tense. Both boys had nearly the same amount of time remaining and neither had a clear advantage. Caleb offered a queen trade. Eli studied it. You want me to take? Maybe. You said that last time. And you didn't listen. Eli calculated, then moved his queen away. Caleb nodded slowly. Good. I don't need your approval. You kind of do, I'm the only person who beat you. Eli clenched his jaw but stayed focused. A few moves later, he trapped Caleb's bishop. Caleb tried to save it, but doing so weakened his king. Eli moved his rook. Check. Caleb blocked. Eli brought his queen forward. Check. Caleb moved his king. Eli moved his knight. Checkmate. Caleb stared at the board. Eli pressed the clock and leaned back. 1-1. Caleb studied the final position. I didn't see the knight. I know. You planned that. 4 moves ago. Caleb looked up. Eli was trying to hide his smile but could not. So now you're going to act like you won a championship. No. You look like you want to yell. I'm calm. Aaron laughed softly. Eli turned toward him. What? You are not calm. I'm calmer than last week. That is true. Will walked closer. Who won? Eli pointed toward himself. I did. Caleb folded his arms. He studied my game for an entire week. That is what good players do, Eli replied. Caleb reset the pieces. Again. You have to go home soon. I have time. Will checked his watch. One more game. Caleb began setting up white. Eli stopped him. Switch sides. Why? I want black. You had black. I know I want it again. Caleb smiled. You're scared to change. Eli pulled the white pieces toward himself. Fine, I'll take white. Caleb sat back. Good. Noah appeared halfway down the stairs. Is my 10 minutes over? Aaron checked the time. Close enough. Noah hurried back to the table. Who won? Eli pointed toward himself. I did. Noah looked at Caleb. Did he say good game? Caleb shook his head. Not yet. Noah looked at Eli. Eli sighed. Good game. Caleb nodded. Good game. Noah smiled. Look at that, Eli learned how to win without being annoying. Eli stared at him. I can still send you upstairs. Caleb reset the clock. This one decides who is better. Eli shook his head. No, this one decides who wins this game. Aaron smiled. Caleb noticed. What? He learned something, Aaron said. Eli placed his hand over the clock. So did Caleb. What did I learn? Eli started the clock. That I don't lose twice the same way. Caleb looked at him. You shouldn't have told me that. He reached for his water bottle and took a slow drink. What does that mean? Eli asked. It means I know you're looking for something different. Just play. Caleb made his first move. The third game began quietly, neither boy joked or looked away. Eli avoided both the opening from their first match and the attack he used in the second. Caleb noticed every change. You're trying something new. No talking. You talked during the other games. I'm focused now. Caleb smiled slightly and moved his knight. At first, the game looked even. Eli controlled the center while Caleb kept his pieces back and waited. Noah leaned toward Aaron. Caleb isn't doing anything. He is waiting, Aaron whispered. For what? For Eli to decide what kind of game he wants. Eli looked over. I can hear you. Then focus, Aaron said. Eli turned back and pushed a pawn, forcing Caleb's bishop away. Caleb moved the bishop. Eli pushed another pawn. Caleb moved his knight. Noah whispered, Caleb keeps backing up. Eli heard him and smiled. He's running out of space. Caleb looked at him. Am I? Eli made another aggressive move. Caleb took another drink of water. Stop doing that, Eli said. Doing what? Drinking every time I move. I'm thirsty. You're trying to distract me. Caleb shrugged and placed the bottle down. Eli continued attacking, pushing Caleb's pieces toward the edge of the board. We'll watch from the kitchen. Is Eli winning? Noah nodded. I think so. Caleb did not react. Eli moved his queen forward. Check. Caleb blocked with a pawn. Eli captured it. Check again. Caleb moved his king. Eli leaned back slightly. You're done. Caleb looked at the board. Are you sure? Yes. Caleb moved his rook across the back rank. Eli's smile disappeared. The rook was attacking Eli's queen. Eli moved it out of danger. Caleb pushed a pawn. Eli frowned. What are you doing? Caleb did not answer. Eli suddenly saw the idea. Caleb had allowed Eli to push forward because each move had weakened the squares around Eli's king. Eli tried to move his knight back. Caleb captured it. Eli took with his bishop. Caleb moved his queen. Check. Eli blocked. Caleb captured the bishop. Check again. Eli's clock dropped below 2 minutes. Noah stood. Dad. Aaron nodded. I see it. Eli moved his king toward the corner. Caleb placed his rook behind the queen. Check. Eli had one legal move. He made it. Caleb moved his queen forward 1 square. Checkmate. The room became silent. Caleb reached for his water bottle again. Eli slapped the clock. You did that on purpose. Caleb drank before answering. Yes. You pretended you were trapped. I was waiting for you to attack. You knew I was going to. You told me you were going to play differently. That doesn't mean I told you my plan. You wanted to prove you could beat me without repeating the last game. I knew you would try too hard to be creative. Noah looked at Aaron. Did Caleb just use Eli's words against him? Aaron nodded. Yes. Eli's face turned red. You got lucky again. Caleb pointed at the board. Show me where. Eli looked down. The attack had been planned several moves earlier. There was no single lucky move. Caleb reset the clock. 2-1. Eli pushed his chair back. Get out of my house, I'll see you next week. Caleb blinked. What? You won, the game is over, you can go now. Will stepped forward. Eli, that is not how you speak to a guest. He won, he can leave. Caleb smiled. You're mad. No, I'm done. You're definitely mad. Eli gathered the pieces too quickly and knocked 2 pawns onto the floor. Aaron moved closer. Eli. What? You invited him to play, you cannot throw him out because he won. I said I'll see him next week. Caleb stood and pulled on his sweatshirt. It's okay, Mr. Aaron, I should go before he starts crying. I am not crying, Eli shouted. Noah covered his mouth. Aaron looked at him. Do not laugh. Caleb picked up the fallen pawns and put them back on the table. You played better than the first game, he told Eli. I beat you in the second game. I know. Then don't act like you're teaching me. I'm not. You're smiling. Because I won. Eli pointed toward the door. Goodbye, Caleb. Caleb walked toward Will, then turned back. Do I still have reading next week? Yes. And chess. Eli hesitated. Yes. Caleb smiled. Good, maybe you'll be less emotional by then. Eli reached for a pawn. Aaron immediately said, do not throw it. Eli slowly placed it down. Caleb opened the door. See you next week. The moment the door closed, Noah burst out laughing. Eli turned toward him. What is funny? You told Caleb to get out because he beat you. I said I would see him next week. That does not make it better. Aaron shook his head. Eli, you owe Caleb an apology. For what? For being rude after he won fairly. Eli dropped into the chair. He drinks water like a villain. Noah laughed harder. Aaron tried not to smile. His water bottle did not beat you. Eli looked at the final position. No, he did. Aaron nodded. That is progress. The following week, Caleb returned for another lesson. After finishing the final paragraph, he placed his pencil down. Done. Eli nodded. You did better with the longer words. I know. Before they played, Eli kept his hand on the folder. I need to say something. Caleb leaned back. Eli took a breath. I'm sorry for telling you to get out of my house last week. You won fairly and I was. Stop talking and play. Eli blinked. I'm trying to apologize. I heard enough. No, you didn't. I have more to say. Caleb pulled the chessboard toward them. You were mad because I beat you. Now you're not mad. Apology accepted. That is not a real apology. It is good enough for me. Eli stared at him. Caleb began setting up the pieces. Are you going to keep talking, or are you going to make the score 2-2? Eli immediately pulled the black pieces toward himself. The score should already be 2-2. Caleb stopped. How? You distracted me with the water bottle. Aaron shook his head. Eli. I'm joking. Noah looked at Aaron. He is not joking. I know. Eli pointed at Noah. You are not part of this game. Noah sat back. I'm just watching. Caleb finished setting up. 10 minutes. 15. Caleb raised an eyebrow. You need more time now. I want a serious game. The others were serious. Not serious enough. Caleb adjusted the clock. Eli looked toward Aaron. I did apologize. You tried. Caleb interrupted me. Caleb started the clock. Your time is running. Eli quickly made his first move. Noah laughed. He started the clock while you were complaining. I see that. The opening was careful and quiet. After several moves, Caleb reached for his water bottle. Eli looked up. Really? Caleb drank. Stay focused. I am focused. You're watching my bottle. I'm watching everything. Caleb moved his bishop. Eli checked the threats and moved his queen to safety. Caleb nodded. You saw it. I told you I studied. I know Noah told me. Eli slowly turned toward Noah. Noah raised his hands. He asked. You told him. It wasn't a secret. It was to me. Caleb smiled. You studied my games all week. I studied the positions. That means yes. Several moves later, Caleb offered a pawn. Eli stared at it. You can take it, Caleb said. That means I shouldn't. Maybe. Eli calculated before moving something else. Caleb smiled slightly. You're learning. I was already better than you. The score says otherwise. Eli's face tightened, but he did not respond. Aaron noticed. Noah whispered he didn't argue. Aaron whispered back, progress. I can hear you, Eli said. The game continued. Caleb attempted an attack, but Eli traded queens before it became dangerous. You hate queen trades, Caleb said. I hate losing more. That sounded honest. The position simplified. Caleb moved quickly, trusting his instincts. Eli used more time but checked every possibility. With 5 minutes left, Caleb pushed a pawn too far. Eli captured it. Caleb frowned. That was a mistake. Yes. You don't have to sound happy. I am happy. Eli entered the endgame with an extra pawn. Noah leaned forward. Is Eli winning? Aaron nodded. Slightly. Slightly, Eli asked, I'm up a pawn. You still have to finish. Caleb created threats with his rook and nearly trapped Eli's knight. Eli stopped smiling. You're doing that thing again. What thing? Pretending you're losing. I am losing. You said that last time. Caleb moved his rook. Check. Eli moved his king. Caleb pushed a pawn. The position began to resemble their previous game. Eli closed his eyes briefly and moved his knight backward instead of pushing forward. Caleb frowned. You found it. Yes. Caleb had less than 1 minute remaining. Eli had 3. Caleb moved quickly, trying to create one final chance. Eli stayed calm. He traded the remaining rook, promoted his extra pawn, and placed the new queen beside Caleb's king. Checkmate. Caleb stared at the board. Eli leaned back slowly. 2-2. Noah jumped up. He did it. Eli looked at him. Sit down. You won. I know. Caleb looked at the position. You played boring. Eli's smile disappeared. I played correctly. You traded everything. Because I knew you wanted an attack. So you were scared. I was smart. Caleb reset the pieces. Eli watched him. Good game. Caleb glanced up. You want me to say it first? You made me say it last time. Caleb held out his hand. Good game. Eli shook it. Good game. Aaron smiled. That was better. Eli looked toward him. I apologized and won. You tried to apologize, Caleb corrected. Eli sighed. Fine, I'm sorry I told you to get out. You won fairly and I acted like a sore loser. Noah grinned. I knew it. Caleb nodded. Apology accepted. That's all. What else do you want? I practiced saying it. You should have practiced chess instead. Eli stared at him. Caleb smiled. Relax, you won. Later, while putting away the pieces, Caleb said, I hate when people apologize to me. You say what happened and then I move on. Aaron looked at him. Eli was rude to you. Caleb shrugged. Then Eli needed to sit with that. Eli frowned. What does that mean? It means you knew you were wrong before I came back. You didn't need me to make you feel better about it. I wasn't trying to make myself feel better. Yes, you were. Eli opened his mouth, but Aaron raised his hand. Let Caleb explain. I wasn't mad that Eli told me to get out, Caleb said. He lost, so he got mad. That's normal. Noah laughed. See, even Caleb knows Eli is a sore loser. I am not. Caleb looked at him. You are. Eli folded his arms. But you didn't hit me, Caleb continued. You didn't break anything, you didn't call me stupid, you told me to leave and then said you would see me next week. That was still rude, Aaron said. It was, but I knew why he did it. So you weren't mad? Eli asked. No. Then why did you keep making jokes about me crying? Because it was funny. Noah covered his mouth. Aaron gave him a warning look. When people apologize to me, they make it into a big thing, Caleb said. Then I have to tell them it's okay even when I don't feel like talking about it. You feel pressured to forgive them, Aaron said. I don't know, sometimes I already moved on, but then the apology makes me go back to it. Eli looked down. I practiced it because Dad said I owed you one. I wanted you to take responsibility, Aaron said. I did take responsibility. You told Caleb to stop talking and play. That was my fault, Caleb said. Eli looked at Aaron. Say, you still needed to acknowledge what you did. I knew what I did, Eli replied. I was embarrassed and I told him to leave. Caleb nodded. Then I came back. So you truly weren't upset? Eli asked. I was more upset that you called my win luck. Eli became quiet. Because I earned it, Caleb said. Eli looked at the chessboard. You did. Caleb waited. You beat me fairly, Eli added. That's better than an apology. Why? Aaron asked. Because it is honest. Eli wasn't sorry that he was mad, he was sorry everybody told him he should be sorry. Eli stared at him. That isn't true. Caleb gave him a look. Eli hesitated. Maybe a little. Noah laughed. He got you. Caleb stood and pulled on his sweatshirt. Next time don't practice a speech. What should I do? Eli asked. Just don't throw me out again. I didn't throw you. You know what I mean. Eli nodded. And if I do? Caleb opened the door. Then I'll come back the next week and beat you again. Eli grabbed the chess box. You won't. Caleb smiled. That sounds normal too. Before leaving, Caleb stopped. I'm still angry about CPS, he said, but I'm happy my parents can't come get me. The room became quiet. Will stood behind him, waiting without rushing. Caleb looked down. I still wish somebody had told me what was going to happen. I still hate that I had to leave without saying goodbye to anything. Aaron nodded. You're allowed to feel both things. Both what? Angry that your life changed without your permission and relieved the people who hurt you cannot take you back. That sounds confusing. It is, feelings don't always agree with each other. Caleb pulled at his sleeve. Are you still mad at me? Eli asked. Caleb looked at him. Yes. Eli's face fell slightly. But not all the time. How much now? Maybe 40%. It was 70 before. I know. So I'm improving. This isn't one of your grades. Noah laughed. Caleb looked toward Will. I like living with you more now. Will's expression softened. You don't have to say that for me. I know. Caleb hesitated. I like that nobody can just show up and take me. They cannot, Will said. There are rules and I will protect you. Caleb looked toward Aaron. What if they try? Will calls his lawyer, your worker, and the police if necessary. You would not have to handle it by yourself. Caleb nodded slowly. He started to leave, then turned back. See you tomorrow for your birthday. Eli blinked. You're coming. Caleb shrugged. Maybe. You just said you were. I said see you tomorrow. That means you're coming. Only if the cake is chocolate. It is. Then I'm coming. Noah stepped closer. Are you bringing Eli a present? Caleb looked offended. I'm already coming, that's the present. Eli shook his head. I don't need anything. Caleb looked at him for a moment. I might bring something. You don't have to. I know. Will called from outside. Before climbing into the car, Caleb called toward the house. Don't practice chess tonight. Eli immediately replied, I wasn't going to. Noah looked at the open notebook beside the board. Yes, you were. Eli shut it quickly. Caleb laughed from inside the car. Aaron watched the car pull away. Eli remained near the front door. He's really coming tomorrow. It sounds like it. He still said he's angry. He probably will be for a long time. Then why come to my birthday? Because anger does not always mean someone wants to stay away from you. Eli looked toward the empty street. He said he's happy his parents can't get him. That is a big thing for him to admit. Eli became quiet. Noah looked at the chessboard. So, are you going to practice before the party? Eli immediately grabbed his notebook. No. You're holding the notebook. I'm putting it away. After you study. Eli glared at him. Aaron smiled. Let Caleb have one day without chess being a war. Eli placed the notebook on the shelf. Fine, tomorrow is my birthday and Caleb is coming because he wants to, not because Mr. Will forced him. That matters more than the chess score, Aaron said. Eli smiled slightly. Not more. The night before Eli's birthday, Rick and Scott finished setting up decorations around the living room. Eli sat beside Aaron. Dad, you know Grandma Kathleen and Grandpa Bob are coming tomorrow, but did Grandma Rebecca ever say if she was coming? Aaron looked toward his phone. The last time I spoke to Grandma Rebecca was when we told her about the party. I don't know if she's coming, she isn't answering her phone. Did you call again? Several times. Maybe she's busy. Maybe. Before Aaron could say anything else, Rick walked in from the front window. Aaron, there's a police officer outside. Aaron's expression changed. Why? I don't know, he's walking toward the door. Aaron looked at both boys. Noah, Eli rooms now. Noah stepped away from the decorations. Dad, what happened? I don't know, go to your rooms until I call you. Eli remained beside him. But my birthday is tomorrow. I know, please don't argue with me right now. Rick walked the boys down the hallway. Once their doors were closed, Scott opened the front door but stayed beside Aaron. A uniformed officer stood on the porch. Aaron moved his wheelchair closer. May I help you? Are you Aaron Smith? Yes. Is Linda or Bate here? Aaron's face tightened. Linda was my ex-wife, she is dead. Bate has been missing for years, what is this about? The officer looked uncomfortable. May I come inside? Aaron glanced at Rick and Scott. They allowed the officer inside and closed the door. What happened? Aaron asked. The officer removed his hat. Rebecca was your former mother-in-law. Yes. When was the last time you spoke to her? A few weeks ago, we told her about Eli's birthday. I've called her several times since then, but she hasn't answered. The officer's expression became serious. Mr. Smith, Rebecca died 3 months ago. Aaron stared at him. No. I'm sorry. No, that's impossible, I talked to her. We recovered her identification and confirmed the information this morning. Aaron shook his head. You have the wrong Rebecca. The officer gave Rebecca's full name and date of birth. Aaron's face went pale. That's her, Scott whispered. Aaron stared at his phone. I spoke to her after that. When? Aaron gave him the approximate date. What number did you call? Her regular number. Someone answered. Yes. Did you see her? It was a phone call. What did she say? Aaron struggled to remember. She asked about Noah, then we told her about Eli and invited her to his birthday. Did she sound normal? I thought she did. Rick placed a steadying hand on the back of Aaron's chair. We saw recent calls from your number in the phone records, the officer said. That is why I came here. This was not something I wanted to tell you over the phone. If Rebecca died 3 months ago, who answered her phone? That is what we are trying to determine. Scott looked toward the hallway. Aaron asked where was she found. The officer hesitated. In a property connected to Bate. You just said Bate is missing. She is still listed as missing. So Rebecca was found in Bate's house. It was a property previously rented under Bate's name. How long had Rebecca been there? The medical examiner believes she died approximately 3 months ago. And nobody found her. The property had been abandoned. Aaron shook his head repeatedly. This doesn't make sense. Rebecca would never go 3 months without speaking to Noah. That is another reason we need to know who you spoke with. Aaron reached for his phone with a shaking hand. Scott passed it to him. Aaron opened his recent calls. There, I called yesterday, it rang but nobody answered. The officer looked at the screen. Do not call it again. Why? Because we do not know who has the phone. My sons have that number. You need to block it on their phones until we understand what happened. Aaron's voice rose. Did somebody pretend to be their grandmother? We don't know yet. You must know something or you wouldn't be here. The officer remained quiet for a moment. Rebecca's phone was not found with her. Aaron stared at him. Rick asked, has it been active? Yes. For 3 months, Aaron asked. Yes. The room became silent. Eli's bedroom door slowly opened. Dad. Aaron turned quickly. I told you to stay in your room. Eli stood in the doorway holding the small gift bag he had prepared for Rebecca. I heard Grandma's name. Rick walked toward him. Eli, go back inside. Is she coming tomorrow? Nobody answered. Eli looked at Aaron. Dad. Aaron closed his eyes briefly. Come here. Rick brought him into the living room. Eli looked at the officer. What happened to Grandma Rebecca? Aaron took his hand. The officer says Grandma Rebecca died 3 months ago. Eli stared at him. But you invited her to my birthday. I thought I spoke to her. You did speak to her, I heard you. We spoke to somebody using her phone. Eli looked down at the gift bag. So she never knew about me. She knew Linda had another child, I don't know how much she knew about everything else. But she didn't know I was with you. I don't know. Eli's eyes filled with tears. Noah opened his bedroom door. What's going on? Aaron looked toward him. Noah, come here. When Aaron told him, Noah stopped walking. No. I'm sorry. No, Grandma Rebecca talked to me. When? The officer asked. Noah looked at him suspiciously. Why? We're trying to understand who had her phone. Noah turned toward Aaron. The night Mom died, Grandma called me. Aaron's face changed. What did she say? She said she was sorry and that she loved me. Aaron looked at the officer. That was less than 3 months ago. The officer began writing. Did anything sound strange? Noah wiped his eyes. She didn't let me talk much, she said she had to go. Did she call from Rebecca's regular number? Yes. Aaron's breathing became uneven. Rick knelt beside him. Slow breaths, Aaron. Aaron looked at the officer. Somebody called my son pretending to be his grandmother after his mother died. We are going to investigate. That isn't good enough. I understand. No, you do. My son lost his mother and someone used another dead woman's phone to speak to him. Eli flinched. Aaron lowered his voice. I'm sorry. The officer remained calm. I need both boys to write down everything they remember, exact words, dates, background noises, anything. Noah sat beside Aaron. I thought Grandma sounded sad. You didn't do anything wrong, Aaron said. Eli still held the gift bag. Is my party still happening? Aaron understood what he was truly asking. Was everything about to fall apart again? Yes, Aaron said firmly, your party is still happening. Even with the police? Yes. Even if somebody has Grandma's phone? Yes. We are going to keep you safe, and tomorrow we are going to celebrate your birthday. Eli nodded, but tears rolled down his face. I wanted her to come. I know. The officer handed Rick his card. Call immediately if that number contacts anyone in this house. Rick nodded. Do you know anyone who might have access to Rebecca's phone or passwords? The officer asked. Aaron thought about Linda, Bate, and everyone connected to the family. Then his expression changed. Linda knew Rebecca's passwords. The officer paused. But Linda is dead. Aaron looked directly at him. So is Rebecca. After the officer left, Rick locked the door while Scott closed the curtains. Aaron remained between Noah and Eli. His phone suddenly vibrated on the table. Everyone froze. The screen displayed one name. Rebecca. Eli stared at it. The birthday curse continues, he whispered. I need to go. Aaron immediately turned toward him. Go where? My room. Okay, but don't lock the door. Eli backed toward the hallway. No, I need to leave. Aaron's voice became firm. Eli, you're not leaving this house. I can't do this again. Rick moved away from the front door and stood near the hallway. Eli looked at him. Move. I'm not trapping you, Rick said calmly. I'm making sure you're safe. I said move. Aaron reached for Eli's hand, but Eli pulled away. Don't touch me. Aaron stopped immediately. Okay, I won't touch you. The phone stopped vibrating. A voicemail notification appeared. Nobody moved. Eli looked at the decorations. This always happens. What always happens? Aaron asked. Whenever people talk about my birthday, something bad happens. Eli. Mom's boyfriend died because my birthday reminded her about me. Marcus's kids hurt me more when my birthday came. Caleb got taken away after we started talking about my birthday. Now Grandma Rebecca is dead. None of that happened because of your birthday. They happened around it. That does not make them your fault. Eli covered his ears. I didn't say it was my fault, I said I need to go. You can go to your room, Aaron replied. Rick can stay outside. I don't want anyone outside. Then Scott can sit at the end of the hallway. I want to be alone. I understand, but after what happened before, I cannot let you leave without knowing you are safe. Eli looked toward the front door. Rick noticed. I'm not running away, Eli said. You ran away the last time everything became overwhelming. I came back. You did, and I am thankful, but you scared all of us. Eli wiped his face. I just wanted one normal birthday. I know. No police, no dead people, no CPS, nobody missing, just cake and chess. You still deserve that. How? Because tonight does not get to take tomorrow away from you. Eli looked at the phone. Someone is calling from a dead person's phone. Yes, and the police will handle it. What if it's Linda? Linda is dead. You said Grandma Rebecca was alive, and now she's dead too. Aaron flinched. Eli's expression changed. I'm sorry. You don't have to apologize. Noah stood beside the couch crying silently. Eli noticed. Noah. Noah wiped his face. That person called me. I know. I thought it was Grandma. You didn't know. What if I told them something? Aaron looked toward him. What did you tell them? I don't remember. That is okay, we'll write down what you do remember. Eli stepped closer. Did they ask where we live? Noah shook his head. I don't think so. Did they ask who was home? I don't know. Aaron looked at Rick. Call the officer from your phone, don't answer Rebecca's number. Rick picked up Aaron's phone without opening the voicemail. Eli looked down at the gift bag. I made this for her. What did you get her? Aaron asked. A picture frame. Eli opened the bag and pulled it out. Inside was a photograph of Aaron, Noah, and Eli together. I thought she might want a picture of all of us. Noah stepped beside him. She would have. You don't know that. No, but I think she would. Aaron asked, would you like us to keep it somewhere special? Eli shook his head. I don't know. You don't have to decide tonight. Eli looked down the hallway. I still need to go to my room. Aaron nodded. Okay. Nobody follows me. Rick will remain in the living room, your door stays unlocked and you answer when I check on you. Once. Every 15 minutes. Dad. Every 15 minutes until I know you are okay. Eli hesitated then nodded. Fine. He walked toward his room holding the frame. Before he reached the door, Aaron called him. Eli. He stopped without turning. Your birthday is not cursed. It feels like it is. I know, but tomorrow Caleb is coming because he chose to come. Grandma Kathleen and Grandpa Bob are coming because they love you. Noah, Rick, Scott, and I are already here. That doesn't fix tonight. No, but tonight does not erase all of that either. Eli entered his room, leaving the door slightly open. Rick returned. The officer is coming back, he said not to play the voicemail until he arrives. Aaron moved his chair to the hallway and stopped outside Eli's door. Eli. I'm here. Are you safe? Yes. Do you need anything? There was a long silence. Can you sit outside? Aaron smiled sadly. Yes. Inside the room, Eli sat on the bed holding the picture frame. Dad. Yes. Don't cancel the cake. I won't. Caleb is still coming. Unless Will says otherwise. Okay. Aaron remained outside as the police car returned. Then Eli screamed. Dad, Mom is outside my window. Everyone rushed toward Eli's room. Rick reached the door first and pushed it open. Scott followed while Noah ran into the hallway. Aaron moved his wheelchair as quickly as he could behind them. Eli stood beside his bed, pointing toward the window with a shaking hand. A woman stood in the backyard. Her face was partly hidden by darkness, but Eli recognized her immediately. Linda. Aaron stared through the glass, unable to breathe. Linda was supposed to be dead. Rick pulled Eli away from the window. Get down, everyone away from the window. Eli grabbed Scott's shirt. That's her, that's Mom. Noah froze in the doorway. My mom. Aaron's shock turned into anger. Get the fuck away from my house, Linda. Linda pressed closer to the window. Can I say happy birthday to my son? She called. I raised him. You abused him, Aaron shouted. You robbed me of raising Noah. You abandoned Noah, you left him outside as a baby. Linda pointed toward Eli. That boy is mine. Eli cried harder. No, I'm not. Linda's expression changed. Eli, baby, open the window. Rick closed the blinds immediately. Do not listen to her. Linda knocked harder. Eli, Mommy came back for you. Eli covered his ears. You said I ruined your life. That wasn't me talking, Linda replied. I was sick. You made me clean everything. I was teaching you responsibility. You left me wet. You always exaggerate. Aaron shouted toward the window. Stop talking to him. Scott called the officer. She is in the backyard. Linda is alive. She is outside Eli's bedroom window. The dispatcher asked him to confirm the name. Linda Smith, Aaron's ex-wife. She was reported dead, but she is standing outside the house. Noah backed away. She called me, he whispered. Aaron looked toward him. What? When Grandma Rebecca called me, it was Mom. Linda heard him. Noah, I only wanted to hear your voice. Noah began crying. You told me you were Grandma. I knew you wouldn't answer if you knew it was me. You made me think Grandma loved me. She did love you. Then why did you use her phone? Linda did not answer. Aaron looked toward Scott. Take the boys to my room. Eli grabbed Aaron's chair. No. You need to get away from the window. I'm not leaving you. Rick and Scott are here. She came because of me. No, Aaron said firmly, she came because she chose to violate every boundary we put in place. That is not your fault. Linda began walking around the side of the house. Rick moved toward the bedroom door. She's trying to reach the front. Scott locked the window and checked it twice. Boys, my room now, Aaron ordered. Noah took Eli's hand. Rick escorted them into Aaron's bedroom while Scott stayed with Aaron. Someone began pounding on the front door. Aaron, Linda yelled, open the door. Aaron moved into the living room. No. I only want to see my children. They are not your children to terrorize. I gave birth to them. That does not make you their mother. Linda hit the door again. I raised Eli. You used him. I kept him alive. You made him wish someone would notice he was suffering. The pounding stopped. Then Linda spoke through the door. He told you everything. Yes. He lies. No, he finally felt safe enough to tell the truth. Linda tried the doorknob. Aaron, I know you're angry. You faked your death. I had to disappear. You let your sons believe you were dead. I was protecting myself. From what? Linda remained silent. Aaron looked at Rebecca's name on his phone. Did you kill Rebecca? Scott turned sharply. Outside, Linda became still. Aaron repeated the question. Did you kill your mother? Linda's voice became quiet. You don't understand what happened. That is not a denial. She was going to tell everyone where I was. So you took her phone. I needed it. And you pretended to be her. I wanted to speak to Noah. You manipulated him after he believed you were dead. I am his mother. Aaron shouted until his voice cracked. You are his abuser. Police sirens became audible. Linda looked toward the street. Aaron, tell them not to arrest me. No. I came here peacefully. You climbed into my backyard and stood outside our son's window. He is my son too. No court in the world is giving you either child after this. Linda moved away from the door. Scott looked through the side window. She's running. Rick came out of Aaron's room and moved toward the back of the house. Aaron called after him. Don't go outside. I'm checking the back door. Rick made sure it was locked and returned. Police vehicles stopped in front of the house. Officers surrounded the property. Scott checked through the peephole before opening the front door. The same officer entered. Where is she? Backyard, Aaron answered. She may be trying to leave through the side gate. The officer spoke into his radio. Two officers moved around the house. From Aaron's bedroom, Eli yelled, Dad. I'm here. Is she gone? The police are outside. Don't let her take me. Aaron's face broke. She is not taking you. Linda suddenly screamed from the backyard. Get your hands off me. An officer ordered her to stop resisting. Eli ran out of Aaron's room before Rick could stop him. Aaron held out his hand. Eli, come here. Eli moved beside him and gripped his hand. Through the closed blinds, they could hear Linda shouting. Eli, tell them I'm your mother. Eli shook his head. No. Linda continued. I took care of you for years. Eli stepped closer to the window. Aaron held his hand tighter. You don't have to answer. I want to. Rick lifted the edge of the blind only enough for Eli to be heard without being seen clearly. Eli raised his voice. You didn't raise me, I survived you. Outside, Linda became silent. Eli's hands continued shaking. You called me lazy, you made me work while everyone else played. You told me my birthday ruined things, you left me in dirty clothes and acted like I should thank you. I was doing my best, Linda called back. No, you weren't. Eli began sobbing but continued. You were doing what was easiest for you. Aaron reached for him. This time, Eli allowed Aaron to pull him closer. The officer guided Linda toward the police car. Linda looked back at the house. You're turning my sons against me. Aaron answered from the doorway. You did that yourself. The officer placed Linda inside the car and closed the door. The first officer remained with Aaron. We have her in custody, she had Rebecca's phone with her. Noah stepped out of Aaron's bedroom. Was she the one who called me? The officer looked toward Aaron before answering. It appears so. Noah's face crumpled. She pretended to be Grandma. Aaron opened his free arm. Noah moved beside him, pressing himself against Aaron and Eli. We also need to question Linda about Rebecca's death, the officer said. Eli looked up. So Grandma Rebecca really is dead. I'm sorry. And Mom was pretending to be her. Yes. Eli looked toward the birthday decorations. The curse. Aaron immediately shook his head. No. This is not your birthday's fault, Aaron said. Linda made these choices, she came here, she used Rebecca's phone, she lied to us. None of that happened because you were born. But it happened the night before. I know. Eli leaned against him. Can my birthday still happen? Aaron looked at Noah, Rick, and Scott. Then he looked at the police lights moving across the curtains. Yes, your birthday is still happening. Even after this. Especially after this. Caleb is still coming. If Will says it is safe. Grandma Kathleen and Grandpa Bob. They are still coming. The officer handed Aaron another card. Someone will remain nearby tonight. Linda will not be released while this is being investigated. She cannot contact the boys, Aaron said. We will document that request and notify the prosecutor. No, I need more than a request. Your attorney can file for an emergency protection order. Aaron looked at Rick. Call Herson. Rick immediately pulled out his phone. Eli looked toward the window. The backyard was empty now. No mother stood outside. No one was tapping on the glass. Only police lights moved across the walls. Dad. Yes. Tomorrow, I don't want anybody talking about her. Tomorrow is about you. No phones during cake. Agreed. Caleb is not allowed to bring up the chess score. Noah looked at him. That might be impossible. Eli almost smiled. Outside, the police car carrying Linda pulled away. Noah watched it disappear. I thought this part of my life was over, he whispered. Aaron turned toward him. Noah's face crumpled, he covered his mouth but a sob escaped. I thought she was dead, Noah cried. I thought I didn't have to be scared of her anymore. Eli began crying harder beside him. So did I. Both boys pressed close to Aaron, sobbing as he wrapped his arms around them as tightly as he could. I know, Aaron said, I thought it was over too. Noah shook his head against Aaron's shoulder. She keeps coming back, at the park, at the house, at school, and now outside Eli's window. You're right. What if the police let her go? They are not letting her come back tonight. But later. Herson is working on that now. That's not an answer, Noah cried. Aaron looked at him. No, it is. I cannot promise what every judge or police officer will do. Then you can't promise we're safe. I can promise that I will keep fighting to make you safe. I don't want you to fight, I want her to stop. I know. Eli gripped Aaron's shirt. She said she raised me. She was trying to control the story. But she did raise me. She was around you, Aaron said. That is not the same as caring for you. Eli wiped his face. What if part of me still wanted her to say happy birthday? Aaron's expression softened. That does not mean you want her back. I don't. You can hate what she did and still wish she had been the mother you deserved. Eli looked toward the dark window. She looked right at me. Rick entered after finishing the call. Herson is filing for an emergency order tonight. Noah looked at him. Will it work? It will give the police another reason to arrest her if she tries to come near any of you again. She was already supposed to stay away. I know. So rules don't work. Rick did not argue. Sometimes people break rules, that is why we keep adding protection around you. Scott checked the window lock and closed the curtains completely. She cannot see inside. Eli flinched. Don't open them. I won't. Not even tomorrow. I promise. Noah looked toward the front door. What if she comes back before the order? There is an officer parked outside, Rick explained. Scott and I will remain awake in shifts and every door and window is locked. Aaron looked at the boys. You can sleep in my room tonight. Noah nodded immediately. Eli hesitated. Both of us. Yes. What about your care? Rick and Scott can still help me. What if I have an accident? Then we handle it the way we always do. Nobody will be angry. Noah wiped his nose with his sleeve. I don't think I can sleep. You don't have to sleep immediately, we can leave the lamp on. Eli looked toward the hallway. Can we move my birthday things into your room? Aaron glanced toward the decorations. Why? So I know tomorrow is still real. Aaron's eyes filled with tears. Yes, we can bring some of it in. Rick retrieved the birthday banner. Scott brought several balloons. They hung the sign across Aaron's bedroom wall. Happy birthday, Eli. Eli stared at it from the bed. It looks weird in here. Noah climbed onto the other side. It looked weird in the living room too. Eli gave a weak laugh through his tears. Aaron positioned his wheelchair beside the bed. Noah took his hand. Dad. Yes. Did Mom really kill Grandma Rebecca? We don't know yet. She had her phone. Yes. She knew where Grandma was. Yes. Noah began crying again. I talked to her like she was Grandma. Aaron squeezed his hand. You believed what she wanted you to believe. I told her I loved her. You thought you were speaking to someone who loved you. What if Mom thinks I said it to her? What Linda thinks does not change what you meant. Noah looked down. I meant Grandma. I know. Eli moved closer to Noah. You didn't tell Mom you loved her, you told Grandma Mom stole it. Noah started sobbing again, and Eli wrapped both arms around him. Eli cried just as hard, but neither boy let go. Aaron moved as close as his wheelchair allowed and placed a hand on both of their backs. I'm sorry, he whispered. Noah looked up. Why are you sorry? Because I told you she was gone, I believed you wouldn't have to face her again. You didn't know. No, but I wish I had protected you from tonight. You did protect us, Eli said. Aaron looked at him. You yelled at her. Noah nodded. You didn't let her inside. Rick and Scott locked everything, Eli added. The police got her. Aaron took a slow breath. Then we all protected one another. Noah rested his head against Eli's shoulder. I'm tired of protecting myself. You should not have to do it alone. I know, but my body doesn't know. Even with the doors locked and an officer outside, Noah's body was still preparing for Linda to return. Eli stared at the bedroom door. Can we put something in front of it? Rick answered from the hallway. I can place a chair nearby, but we cannot block the door completely. We need to be able to enter quickly. Can you sit there? Yes. All night. Scott and I will switch. Eli nodded. Aaron looked at both boys. You are safe enough to cry now. Noah's breathing shook. What does that mean? It means you do not have to pretend you are okay just because the police took her away. Neither boy tried to stop crying after that. Noah cried for the childhood he believed he had escaped. Eli cried for the birthday that had once again become connected to fear. Aaron cried with them because he had believed Linda's death had closed this chapter of their lives. Instead, she had opened it again by standing outside Eli's window. After a while, Noah whispered, I still want the party tomorrow. Eli looked at him. You do? Yes, I don't want her to take another day. Eli stared at the birthday banner. Me neither. Aaron nodded. Then the party stays. No police questions during it, Eli said. We will ask the officer and Herson to handle anything urgent before or after. No mom talk, Noah added. We will not bring her up unless one of you needs to. And chocolate cake, Eli said. Aaron smiled faintly. The cake is already here. Eli lay down beside Noah. Caleb better not beat me on my birthday. Noah gave a tired laugh. He probably will now that you said that. Shut up. Aaron smiled. For several minutes the boys remained pressed together beneath the blankets. They were still crying. They were still afraid. But neither of them was alone. Linda was no longer outside the window, the doors were locked, and the birthday banner remained hanging across the wall. Tomorrow would still come.